Hey, it's Amaranth,
And this is Eminent.
and come talk with me about.
What does a healthy relationship look like?
And
Um,
it could, we're gonna talk about it in both ways. We're gonna talk about it like friendship. We're gonna talk about family. We're gonna talk about significant others. So it's not just like dating and marriage. It's not just that.
right. So in general, what does it look like um, between people? And I would think a healthy relationship is going to include, for one, open communication with people or with the people around you, with the people that you're interacting with. That is one pillar, I believe, to be part of a healthy relationship and just having that openness.
Definitely the openness. Communication with anyone is important in general. So if you take away one thing or practice one thing in life, then please communicate. Whether it's your work, your boss, your teacher, your kids, just you got to learn how to communicate, and everyone communicates differently.
Right, right. Now, I think to look at a healthy relationship, we might want to look at a unhealthy relationship and see things that we might want to avoid. Um, and so, with that being said, like we just talked about communication. So I think for an unhealthy relationship, you're looking at a lack of communication, a lack of openness, um, and I think that usually stems from usually people are guarded for one reason or another. They've gone through something that's caused them to become guarded, and so they're reacting to a stimulus that they've experienced before. And to break that down again is that communication, but also patience. To have patience with people and to listen.
Definitely, patience is very important. I know all the parents out there. You got to know this 100%. So yeah, just being calm with whatever situation, because being irate is not really going to help anything. I
It
don't think.
doesn't. It doesn't.
But it is okay to feel. Definitely feel things. But if you're in a state of mind that you can't talk, then don't talk. Just say that. Just you can't talk right now.
Oh yeah,
Just don't do
definitely,
it.
definitely. And even that is still, part of that is saying, the way I'm at right now, or I'm not in the mindset to talk to you right now, or I
Right.
can't talk to you right now.
Exactly.
I know a lot of people think like that's shutting down, but as long as you explain, you don't have to explain, but they should be able to understand like where you're at now mentally. It's not a good time to have any type of constructive conversation.
Right.
So if you in the heat, it's like I can't talk to you right now. Might be the way you express. You're not there mentally, um, and no one. It's gonna be completely understandable if your partner is slightly offended by that, but at the same time, they have to know you're in a space where you, like you said, you can't talk. So they know to back off despite how they feel. Um, and then address that when you guys are able to come back together and talk. I,
And make sure that you come back.
oh,
If
yeah.
you're the person that is leaving the conversation, you gotta be the one to come back to it. And if you're the one that's being put on the sideline for a second, you have to make sure that it's not a forever sideline, because that's important. That's the difference between taking a beat and then being blown off.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
you have to go back to it. That is the main difference between those two.
Yeah, and definitely preferably the person who left should come back and initiate it again.
Right.
If the person who got blown off might not be the right word or might not be the right way to describe it,
Right.
but the person who I don't have a better word, so got blown off might have to remind them like, hey, we still need to talk about that, you know. And you, if you're in a healthy relationship, you know your partner, so you know if it's one of those things where they're going to try to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a big enough and important enough issue, then you got to keep driving it. It's like we're not putting this off. We have to discuss it.
Right.
You know, you gave them their time. They're giving them their time is not. I gave you 30 seconds to walk into the next room. Now I'm coming back to discuss this. No,
No, no.
right,
If they need a night, then give them a night. And if it gets excessive, like if they're talking about, I need a whole week. No, no way. Nobody needs a week to calm down. You could read something or take some notes in a night or two, and you should be able to come back to it.
right. So you might have to remind your partner about the issue, especially if it's important enough. I know some people, they don't like confrontation, so they're going to run from that topic because it's going to be a confrontation.
Right.
But when you are in that relationship together, whether it's any type of relationship, you have to make sure they are comfortable with that confrontation. So if that means making sure that you're not raising your voice, if that's picking your words carefully so that you're getting your point across, but you're not coming off as aggressive.
Yeah, even if you need to go and write it down, and just, I guess to wrap around, if you're calm and you know you have this issue, like I have this issue personally. If I can't talk about something and you push me, I'm gonna be a jerk. It's not something that I have developed yet. So beforehand, I'll let people know, like, look, if I'm in a bad mood, please leave me alone, because I'm just gonna be mean about it if you keep pushing me. So if that's you, then make sure you communicate that and say, hey, if I'm upset, please let me take a beat. Please let me take a step back, because it's not going to be pretty. So let them know that while you're calm, because you know that you're not going to be able to once you're in that mood.
Right. And that makes sense. That completely makes sense. Kind of like me, if I'm upset, I need space as well. So, and my wife is not great at giving me space when I'm upset. She wants to poke and prod. So I know I just gotta leave. I'm walking out. Clearly, I'm gonna come back. I'm not done and just leaving forever.
He's not gonna get a pack of cigarettes.
Right. I'm not going out for milk. I'm not getting a pack of cigarettes. I'm going to the gas station to get gas. I don't know.
But coming back.
Right. I'm coming back. And I even know the people I need to talk to calm down. And I think that's important, is knowing yourself. So if you're in a healthy relationship with others, you have to have people who you can communicate, even outside that relationship, to help you be the best you for that relationship. So, you need outlets besides that partner. And this is right now just talking about your significant other or whatnot. Well, no, even in general relationships, you need, because you're gonna brush everyone the wrong way at some point in time.
Yeah, at some point.
So having people outside that who you can talk to just as an outlet, not bring them into your problem, because that creates a whole different mess, but just bring someone else in as an outlet so that you can be in the right mindset to go back in and deal with what you need to deal with is important.
Yes, and we're not saying that you should go around and talk crap about your friends and your significant other. Quite the opposite. If you're having issues in a friendship or a relationship, don't talk about it with people. It's nobody else's business. It's between you and your religion and your significant other. That is it. Like, this doesn't need to go outside the boundaries of the bedroom or the house. Just keep that to yourself and your other person.
Yeah.
You put it on social media. You put it on that's all hot garbage. Don't do that.
Hot garbage. Exactly. In fact, the whole point of that outlet is to talk about anything besides that issue. Like, if the whole point is to get out of that mindset, so don't just continue
harp on it.
Exactly. I'm glad you knew I was tripping
I knew
on the
where
word.
you were going.
Yeah. So, talk about anything else, everything else. Just get your mind off of it until you feel better, you've calmed down, then go back, finish that conversation, and maybe that topic might not be resolved, but you're making progress.
Right.
I mean, there's only one way to resolve an issue, and that is to just keep working on it.
Yep, progress is key.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a one and done, you can still piece it together and eventually get to where you want to be.
Exactly. And then accept that you can be wrong. I think that is a big issue for most people, is they have their perception and that is it. Like, if you do not take the time to look at it from wherever the other person is coming at it from, you will forever be blind to the issues affecting others and how they and what they bring to you.
That's everything. That's
everything.
That is life in
Yes.
general. If you can't accept that you are not omniscient, then you are going to have a difficult life. That's really all there is to it. If I come to Eminence and I'm just like, hey, AB equals C, and he's like, nah, that's D. I'm gonna be like, wait a second. If we're gonna talk about it, they're gonna be like, oh, you know what, it is D, or he's gonna be like, oh, you know what, it is C, because you gotta be able to have that ability to change your mind, to be open minded, to be wrong.
Right, right. No one likes being wrong.
No.
I don't have an issue with being wrong, but I don't like it. For me, it is about more the progress. Like, I'm okay with being wrong if you explain to me why I'm wrong. I don't like being wrong and confused. So, like, and it's happened before because I was at work and I was looking at some of the papers, and someone who's been there longer will explain to me, you know, one of the policies we had or some of the paperwork and why it was worded the way it was. And I was confused, and I just accepted, like, okay, well, you know better than I do.
Right.
I was like, but your explanation's not making sense to me.
Nope.
And I had another coworker who's like, you're overthinking it. And I was like, possibly, but it's the only way I can think about it.
It might be.
Right. It's like, it might be, but I don't know, because it's still not making sense to me. End of the day, it never made sense to me. I mean, I was wrong in how I initially thought it was. I'm assuming I was wrong because, again, I'm assuming the person who was there longer knew better than I did.
Which is not always the case.
It's not always the case, but it's my assumption until I'm proven wrong.
Right.
So that's just, it doesn't happen all the time. Usually, if I'm wrong, I know why I'm wrong, and I can see the path to how I was wrong, where I made my mistake. Sometimes, though, I cannot see where I made a mistake, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, it is what it is. I was wrong. We'll just have to find out how later.
It's usually in a video game or something. And I guess to hit another point is space. You need to give each other space.
Oh my gosh.
Whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. You cannot be at each other's backside 24/7.
It might be a nice backside.
It might be. It should be.
Some people don't have backsides, and that's okay.
And that's nice for the other person. They might like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you still need to back up off it.
Yes, absolutely. Go find your hobby. If you guys share the same hobby, maybe do it on 2 different days at a time. I mean,
or just with other people.
Yeah, you've got to take that step back. Everyone has to have that tranquility, just to not be with that person, whoever that person is.
Yeah, just looking at the same person all the time, you just get irritated. Just being in their space. Not necessarily looking at them, being in that space all the time, you'll get irritated. And that's when the aggression comes out. It's just, I need you to get out of my face. I just need you not to be here. And that's okay. That is completely natural. Just, again, don't be the person who goes out and gets cigarettes and never comes back.
Yep, don't do that. Especially if you have kids. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. But come back. Even talk about what you did. I was gone for so long. Came back. Talked about great conversation. Keeps your relationship nice and fresh.
Yeah, that's true too. Especially, I guess a good partner might not be interested in what you're talking about, but they're interested in you talking about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's okay. That's completely okay. Me and my wife do not really share hobbies. And that's all right. At all. And I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
She has her own life. I have my own life. And we are together living our lives.
Yeah, it's that circle. What's that circle called? The one with the
Venn diagram.
Venn diagram. It's the Venn diagram.
The 3 circles. Or 2 circles in an overlapping area. That's some oblong circle. But you get what we're talking about.
Yeah, so just at the end of the day, just make sure you give them that, and take it yourself. Take it for yourself. You need that personal time. Just, I don't know what you like to do. If you like gardening, if you like video games, just whatever you like, take that time.
I mean, most likely you like listening to talk with me, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
Y'all can do that together. Not all the time, but
it'd be even better if you listened to it separately and then talked about it.
Yeah,
together.
Giving your own points of views of what we talked about. And then going down in the comment section and talking about what you guys talked about. But you got to subscribe first.
And like it.
And like it.
And then all the buttons that are there, just push all of them.
Yes.
Except maybe the dislike, maybe not that one. You can if you want.
You can. I mean, either way, it's interaction, and evidently that's what the algorithm wants.
The algorithm gods.
Yes, that's what I've learned. But we're still learning this process anyway.
Yes.
Either way, find things for you, let them find things for them, and then y'all can talk about it. And while you're talking about it, actually listen. Learn about what they're going through. They'll learn about what you're going through and what you're doing.
Active listening, yes. Oh, that's a good topic. Woo. We'll get there next time.
Right after you guys subscribe.
Yes. So, this is Amaranth.
This is Eminent.
And we'll talk to you next time.
There you go.